here in the building, man, at Texas Live, man. About to have ourselves a great show, man. Man, let's get some folks on here and let's talk about it. Let's be about it for a little bit. You got to sit up a little bit. Let's talk about it and let's be about it for a little bit. Let's see what we got on here already. You guys already know what it is, man. It is your boy West Coast live from where are we? We are in technically Arlington, Texas, but we are here with Texas Live with the beautiful house behind us, man. And I got your favorite cowboy, man. I got your country cousin out here, man. I'm your country cow. I'm your favorite cowboy cousin. This your country cousin that come over, got the big boots on, and he got the little cigarette down my deck. God, man, better give him that on the minute, man. He about worth it by man, man. What's up with your boss, cowboy, man?
Welcome to Texas, my brother. Welcome to Texas. And it's perfect, man. Like perfect screenshot, brother, that you got. Because you know when I look at your cartoon picture and your logo, man, you gotta keep the fitted hat, right?
I got you.
You got the hot balls, but I wouldn't be boss at all if I didn't have a Texas straw hat. So there it is.
Hey, I guess so, man. I guess. What's up with you, Curtis? I see you, man. What up with you, Tony? We are also live on Boss Cowboy Sports, so what's up with you out there? What's up with you, Jacob? What's up with you, Brenda? Dallas? What's up with you, Curtis? E. Kush? Greg? How you guys doing? Hey, I'm going to try to share this real quick, but I promise you, I don't know if it's going to let me do it. We're going to see right now.
There it is.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Bang.
Bang. Cannot post. Hey, so guess what that means, y'all? That means you guys got to do the sharing tonight, man. Yeah. Facebook is tripping.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's tripping.
I'll start clapping you early.
It's all good. Hey, how we sounding? We sound good? But hey, man, the Dallas Cowboys will be taking on the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, man. Yeah. It's going to be about, what, 10 o'clock morning game? What time does the game start? 12 o'clock game? Okay. So it's going to be a 12 o'clock game. And it's the early game. One thing I like about this game is the Cowboys are going to be able to get in there and do their business, and then we're going to have the rest of the day, the Sunday, to celebrate. But I said this earlier on my Instagram, man, and this is something that I said that I wanted to see from the Dallas Cowboys, and it's kind of like that next level of maturity, is I want to see the Dallas Cowboys just 100% destroy a bad team. Because when I see other good teams, that's what I see other teams do. Like, other good teams, they destroy bad teams. Like, if you're, like, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, we've had, like, even last year, we were a pretty good team, right? Yeah. We played the Giants the last game of the season. It took a Hail Mary pass by Dak Prescott to win that game. Right. And that was a bad team, right? Yeah. The New England Patriots, you know what they did when they played this bad team? They hung 50 on them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, what? And then Baltimore, actually, New England hung 40 on them. Baltimore hung 50 on them. Two teams that are 2-0 in the same position as us. So think about this. If you're talking about, equal talent, you have the New England Patriots, they put 40 on them. You have Baltimore Ravens who hung a 50 burger on them. Now you have the Dallas Cowboys who are being said as the third best team in the NFL playing the exact same team. I think this is a measurement of coaching, talent, and more importantly, we need to blow these dudes out, man.
Yeah, and I see us doing that West Coast for the simple fact that I'm listening to the locker room, and they're making an effort, I would say, right? They making an effort, like in terms of speech. Like I heard Cooper say, they have an all-pro corner that I'm going to be going against.
Yeah.
And that is true. That's not a lie. That's a fact, and things can swing, and then there's a surprise element to this game as well. The fact that they starting another quarterback that was playing under a real bad offensive line when that person was in Arizona.
Yeah.
Right? So with that surprise element, I would say, like, and wouldn't you maybe think of this? Didn't it help us to surprise the New York Giants? Right? Didn't it help our scheme to come out and jump on them and show them a different look that they didn't expect coming?
Yeah.
So I think it's a far warning that you're kind of giving that this has the potential of a trap.
Look in the camera. Yeah.
This has the potential of a trap, but listening to that, how the players are really kind of safeguarding themselves mentally. Because I'm not gonna lie, even this week, I would say as somebody that covered the Cowboys intently and strongly and always trying to give factual information as much as possible, the fact that this Miami made me want to even kind of look past them. So if I'm considering looking past them, I'm pretty sure it's a natural instinct for everybody, including the players, to almost fall for that trap.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, the most dangerous team in the NFL is a team that has nothing to play for. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the Giants were so dangerous week 17 last year. But, I mean, like I said, man, this is a team that, you know, you have a lot of, you know, they just named their quarterback literally like 2 days ago.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like, that lets me know that they have two quarterbacks. Well, you know, the old saying is this: if you have two quarterbacks, that means you have what? That means you have no quarterback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this: I don't see how this team could get a lot of continuity, a lot of reps with them not even knowing what quarterback they were going to have. So, I don't want one of these guys, Josh Rosen or Fitzpatrick, to come out here and try to prove themselves with the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure that the Dallas Cowboys don't go into this game with a mentality of, oh, we can just kind of, you treat this as a preseason game. Because if you notice, you know, you already got Tyrone Crawford not playing. You got Xavier Woods not playing. You have, who else you got playing? You got Tyrone Crawford not playing. Who else you got not playing this week? Tyrone Crawford, Xavier Woods. It's like 5 of them. So, both Woods, Antoine Woods, Xavier Woods, both of them are out. Tyrone Crawford is out. Michael Gallup is out. And Tavon Austin is out. So, you know, I mean, all of those names, I think, except for maybe, I think all of them actually have pretty damn good backups backing them up. So, you know, that's one thing. It's like when you name off those names, it's like you can almost, it's good to know that you can know the backup for that same guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I didn't see or think crisis when you said any of those names.
Good point.
I promise, I was sitting here more so like, you know, with every one of them, because like even when you name Crawford, right?
Yeah.
We have Quinn coming back.
Yeah.
He was playing right in, not even his natural 3-tech position, so. And if he was even playing 3-tech, we got Tristan Hill, and he's fresh. And he should be kind of very, very motivated.
Yeah, because...
What if even with Tristan Hill, it was just genius coaching for where they trying to put a key in his back, right? Make you feel like you got something to prove, make you feel like it just wasn't given to you, so when you had your debut, you got your pants on fire. Like, there's so many reasons to where I can't get nervous over the people that's kind of injured right now. Now, at any time if we lost Cooper, I'm nervous. At any time if we lost Dak, I'm nervous. You know, if we lose Zeke, it's going to be harder, right?
Yeah.
But with the people I would call those people that's on our injured list, West Coast, B impact players. They not the A+ impact in terms of value.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I understand the caution, but I started also thinking this. When do we really, under this team, not beat teams we supposed to beat? Now, I can see historically, right? Historically, if you go back to the Romo days, Witten days when they was younger, I saw that a lot.
Yeah.
But this team, when they face
we lose the teams that we lose the teams that we should beat, and teams that we should not beat, we win.
Under this era?
No, I'm saying under history.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, like an example, right. Like, you know, go look at the Saints. The Saints when they won their Super Bowl? Who gave them their first loss in New Orleans?
Right.
What was our record that season?
Right. And that's exactly how I feel about it, man. Exactly how I feel about it. So it's one of those situations. Well, I'm starting to now look at the character of this team, West Coast, and I'm just being like straight up. And to me, these boys are more kind of dogs to me. They more kind of together, you know. And I see it in them. Like even on the contract negotiations, you can see contract and money talk. Even kind of you can sense a little bit of dissension on most teams, and that's the only person we really saw dissension with, because we was looking at it close. Was who?
Say that one more time.
The only person we saw dissension with this year on contracts was who?
Zeke Elliott.
No, I'm talking between players.
What do you mean? Oh, as far as like players not disagreeing, Taco
and see, I put you on your toes on that one too. He did not know what I was gonna ask. Okay. He did not know.
Hey, I'm up here reading y'all comments, man.
Yeah, and see, he didn't know what I was gonna ask, so he knew on the spot the only player to say anything related to another player with their contract, and it was Taco.
It was Taco, yeah.
So when I say these guys are together, like usually, like when somebody tried to bring up Zeke money, what did Tank say?
Tank said, man, we don't talk about a piece of money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then they calling Dak like, bro, don't come back without your money.
Yeah.
So it's like the character of these guys, to me, they come together, man.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't see them, like, if we was a divided team, a split locker room, too many big personalities, I could see this being a trap game for us, right? But with the way that these guys kind of together, I see us really, honestly, coming and putting hands on these boys.
I mean, and also, this is also a good test game, too, because it's like, Kellen Moore, what do you do in the games where you're expected to win? Like, it's easy to go into games and kind of be the underdog. I don't believe the Cowboys were the underdog any of those games. But it's so easy to kind of go into a game and be ill-prepared and just think you're just going to have a couple big plays and then the game's going to be over. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, man, for whatever reason, players always get big when they play in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? And these teams, you got to remember, a lot of these guys have been requesting trades. So what does that let me know? That means individually you might have some guys break out. Why? Because you have some guys who are playing for reasons outside of the team. And don't forget the fact that they do still have one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. That's why I've been saying these last couple of days that I definitely believe that Sunday's game should be about running the ball with Ezekiel Elliott. Now, I know that this is my thing, right? Like, I still want Dak to get his 2 touchdowns, his two passing touchdowns per game. I do want that. But it's like, I want the Dallas Cowboys to show the NFL that we can win either way. Why? Because now there's this narrative that are saying, oh, now that we're a passing team. No, we're not a passing team. What we are is we're a team who watches film. And think about this. I said this on my Instagram earlier. 2 to 3 days before we even played games, we would come on here and we would tell you guys that Giants game, I'm gonna be honest with you, we need to pass the rock. Yeah. Matter of fact, you need to pass the ball to Michael Gallup because he's probably gonna have a great game. And what did he do? He had a great game. Yeah. The very next week, you know what we did? We watched the film. You know what the film said? The film said you should pass the ball. Yep. You went out there, we tried to run the ball to start off with, was not successful at all. Nope. What do? We went back to what the film did, and what do? We were successful in what we were doing. Honestly, this game right here says that, yes, this team is very susceptible to the big play. And that's why I believe Devin Smith is going to have a good game or at least a big play. And that's why I also believe that Ezekiel Elliott is going to ball. Because the last 2 running backs that ran against these guys each had at least 90 yards. And neither one of the teams have a running back that's the equivalent of an Ezekiel Elliott. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, they just ran the ball, period. Like, that. I also see Dak Prescott, if he chooses to have a big run, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, against this team, I don't even think that you even need to bring out the whole I'm going to have Dak outside the pocket. What I want for Dak is to put his 2 touchdowns on the board. I want Zeke to get his 2 touchdowns. That's our 30 points right there. And then put Zeke away and then let Cooper Rush run the score up. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say it is because I want Dak to prove. I don't mind letting Dak run the score up against the New York Football Giants week 1 on prime time, but in a game at 10 o'clock in the morning against a 0-2 team, I'm cool. You want to know why? Because they have more to lose than we do. And at that point, that's when people start getting in their feelings and start taking cheap shots and all type of corny stuff. So, get your 30 points, get Dak P out of there, and let's move on to the next game.
Yeah, and let me add a
especially since they're not going to pay him to the end of the season.
and I can't really... Well, to add to that, I would say this. This is also, the tea leaves would say, if you're Jerry, you also kind of want, and scheme-wise and strategy-wise, you don't want to show too much.
Yeah.
So, like, if I can hold back and still save some for Philly, right? Save some for teams that might still have something left in the tank. That's going to be major challenges because you know the Saints going to throw it at us.
Yeah.
They're going to throw it
They're going to throw it. You got to think about this. Their quarterback's not there, so that's almost a little bit more dangerous because that's something different that you know for sure you're going to see something different. Factor. You know for sure you're going to see something different.
So it's one of those things to where, like, it's a lot of reasons for us to kind of put this in the way and put everybody to bed.
Quick.
And then, you know, because so for contract reasons, absolutely. Strategic reasons, absolutely. But I still would say I would want us to throw on this team because this team, to me, has showed that they can be thrown on greatly, right? And that would be one of the ways to put them away quickly, too. If you really want to put them away, chunk on them, put them away, kill they already low self-esteem, then sit all the starters down.
Yeah. The only reason why I want to run the ball is because Dak has had his defining moment. I need Zeke in his $90 million to have his defining moment. I need Zeke to feel just as high as Dak Prescott's feeling right now. Yeah. Why? Because Dak's trying to get paid. Well, Zeke, I already paid you. You know what I'm saying? So I need that Ezekiel Elliott, oh my God, that's why I paid you $90 million. people have been saying we need to be balanced. We haven't been balanced. We've been doing what we had to do to win these games. You know what I'm saying? Because think about this. In that first game, we weren't run heavy until the end of the game. It was time to put them away. In this first game, in the second game, we tried to run more. Why? Because they wanted to impose their will with Zeke more.
Right.
But guess what? It didn't work. So what do? We 100% abandoned it.
Right. No, we did.
Like, we 100% abandoned it. And went straight.
He got a sneaky 100 yards.
He did.
So that's not a takeover game like what you're saying. And I know what you're saying. You saying it from a standpoint.
Yeah, I want Zeke to have a fingerprint game like Dak has.
Where you send a message to the league.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like Dak has had
saying, but where you basically saying we can beat you with Zeke or we can beat you in the air.
Yep. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's where you throw defensive coordinators off, especially going into New Orleans, because now you have Sean Payton thinking like, damn, are they gonna hit us with Zeke for 150 or are they gonna hit us with Dak for 300?
I can't fight that strategy from this reason too. Because if you say you want to hide the playbook, what's one of the best ways to do it?
Run the ball.
Run the ball, right? So if you start throwing
we shouldn't have to show nothing,
exactly,
Miami.
if you start showing your route combos and how creative you are and how fast you can put up.
We don't have to show none of that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I want this, like, even though I want Dak, that's why I said I want Dak to get his 2 touchdowns. Why? Because I want him to stay on his 50 touchdown pace. Yeah. So yes, don't pull Dak unless he has his 2 touchdowns. Because then that's who that? That's Jalen. Hey, what's up? Hey, shout out Jalen Smith, Texas. I ain't gonna put him on the thing, but hey, what was I gonna say? Man, that just threw me all the way off, man.
Well, I just finished what you said while you take care of Jalen. So the big thing is it gets us a chance to hide our intentions.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it takes all defensive coordinators and it makes them almost don't know what kind of way to scheme against us.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then you was also saying it from this standpoint that you want Dak to kind of stay on his pace. You know,
because I mean, he has 7 touchdowns right now.
Right.
If he gets 2 touchdowns in this game alone, passing touchdown, that puts him at 9. So that puts his tag. They puts him at average of 3 touchdowns per game. Like that's 3 times 16 is what? That's more. That's around 50. Like, he ain't got to get 56, but that's around 50. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I want Dak to stay on that pace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I feel like Dak shouldn't have to throw for 4 touchdowns against this team.
Yeah.
Like, if Dak has to throw for 4 touchdowns against the Miami Dolphins, because even in those games, like, Tom Brady wasn't scoring he wasn't throwing a whole bunch he was actually, but the defense was scoring. Right. Like, that's what was getting them over that 35 hump. Like, your defense got to score. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, as long as that's why I'm saying I want to control this game with Zeke. The reason why you can control the game with Zeke is also the time is going off the clock. You know what I'm saying? Just going off and off and off and off the clock. Man, get our points, get out, man. Get your points and get out.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question real quick. What do you want to see from this defense?
What do I want to see? I want to see him. I want to see a score.
Yeah.
I want to see a score because everybody else is scoring.
God, I was thinking that.
What's up with you, Window? What's up with you, Buddha? Yeah, I want to see him score, man. Like, it's like you basically have a quarterback like I actually like Josh Rosen, but he's also reminds me of Eli Manning, meaning he gonna give you action out of interception. Right. We got to take it, man. Like, if you can't get an interception against Josh Rosen, I'm looking at Chris Richard like, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you cannot get an interception off Josh Rosen, I'm really looking at this defense like, what the hell?
I'm gonna tell you some things I want to see from the defense. I want to see Queen take over.
Yeah, but he ain't played in 6 months.
But I'm just saying what I want to see, right? Like,
I'd rather see D-Law. You need more from D-Law.
I know we go see D-Law. We saw D-Law poop already previewing last week. We know Tank gonna do Tank.
Yeah, but
I'm
tell you
why I want to see Queen. Because I think once Queen go, it's gonna just set everything off, right? It's gonna set because it's gonna make Crawford have to go right back to 3 tech, and he's gonna be now at his strongest position. Right? Then you're not going to be able to just key on Tank if you got another threat at the other end. So the domino of pass rushing is going to be ridiculous if we even see ridiculous pass rush out of him and pressures. You know? Maybe not even sacks, but just great pressures to where it's like, you know?
I love that. This is my thing.
Okay.
If DeMarcus Lawrence, I love you, D-Law. And I know you balled last week. I know this because I watched the film. But I'm speaking to you. We gave you $31 million. So I don't give a damn, bro. You gotta get there, bro. Like, Quinn, was 6th round draft pick. Yeah, I mean, that's what I lose. And Quinn ain't got a ball but maybe 3 games for me all year. DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm paying you almost $2 million a year, a game right now.
He gonna do it though.
So,
bro.
and this is the thing. This is the thing, right? And this is why, because the critics is about to come.
Yeah.
You know, they gave you all that money. I mean, now I know if you watch the film, you know for a fact DeMarcus Lawrence was balling. He just, you know, they're going on these very, very quick, aggressive counts, and they're getting the ball out fast. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The type of money they paying you, bro, you gotta figure it out, man. We gotta figure it out.
My second thing I say I want to see is Tristan Hill. I want to see if he's super motivated or is he a diva, right?
If he a diva, we said this is my draft. This draft.
Because if this don't put a fire under you to not be active and get your shot, I mean, you getting your shot, Tristan. If you not just like spinning and dipping every chance you can right now, oh man, this is your shot.
Yeah,
I would actually expect it out of him. Another thing that I'm wanting to see out this defense, I agree with you. I want us to score. If I could get a Christmas gift right now, West Coast, right now, my Christmas gift would be this. If Jordan Lewis come out there as the starting nickel corner, that's what I want to see.
How would you facilitate that? How would you foresee that happening? Because with him, if he's starting, that means Anthony Brown is either on the bench or getting kicked out to the outside. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't mind Anthony Brown playing some outside. Why? Because it lets me know that the Cowboys still have not made a decision up on Byron Jones, and I'm so happy. Why? Because he hasn't done anything for us to make that decision yet. I love him. I do. I am going to vote for Byron Jones. I am.
Yeah.
I am. I'm gonna vote for Byron Jones. Whatever it is, whatever Byron Jones runs for in life, you got my vote. If I got to become a citizen over there, I'll do it. I ain't tripping. It's nothing. But on that note, I'm just not clear right now if I want to give you $12 to $13 million. I'm not clear on that. I'm just not. I'm a little leery on it right now. So I like when I see other people getting out there playing that nickel. I also like when I saw Byron Jones pissed off because he didn't get that interception last week. Because I remember when I interviewed him and he tried to tell me, "Oh yeah, man, you know it's not really my job is to hold down the guy that's on the like." Nah, bro, you're talking to a corner right now.
Yeah, right.
Like you just made it to the league, but you're talking to a corner right now, and I've never heard a DB coach say anything closely remotely to that. You know what I'm saying? It is your job. Yeah, it is your job to lock down a side, but how do you be known as a lockdown by not getting your hands on the ball?
I want to add to something you just said too when you were talking about Byron Jones. One of the things about when you say you're talking to a corner, this is one thing about corner. In terms of what you have to know, it's universal.
Yeah.
So you from California, I'm from Texas. Matter of fact, Oak Cliff, Texas, right? Cover 2 is cover 2 in Cali, just like it is in what?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Coverages are all the same.
So
that's why Mink is gonna start.
It's almost even said the same.
Yeah.
They call like South cover 2 usually blue. Cover 4.
That's why when Minkus went to Pittsburgh, that's the same thing I was saying. Like the only thing that's gonna change is the kill signs. That's the kill signs or your double play signs. Other than that, everything is the same. You're either running cover 1, cover 2. Your blitz packages may be different, but the only thing that changes in defense is the actual wordage. That's it.
Yeah.
And as long as you can remember that, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. So you can't get over on somebody when you played that position and you know that there's really only about 8 coverages.
Well, my thing is
like
when you get to that level,
when
you get to that level, it is about interceptions.
Yeah, no doubt. What I'm saying is from this standpoint, you can't pull the wool over our eyes. I played corner from when I was a freshman all the way through I was finished playing college ball. So did you, right? So you can't pull nothing over us. And you said, how would the facilitation of Jordan Lewis happen? Well, we know Byron is going to be the starting right corner. You obviously going to have Woods as the starting left. The way you facilitate that is you just look at the total data points and performance points. I've done that, right? And so I know this because I've just reviewed a lot of film on all of our secondary players. And this is one thing I know for sure. It's exact now. Anthony Brown has caused 13 touchdowns on our defense. 13. the most Jordan Lewis did was 4. And Jordan Lewis is the most decorated player outside of Jones. And also, Lewis has been the most decorated player by third parties before the Cowboys. And a lot of people don't know this. I know this because I'm just fresh off researching all of this. Jordan Lewis was called by PFF the top secondary player in the draft. The only reason he dropped was because of the pillow fight, alleged domestic violence that made him drop to the 3rd. Or he would have already been above a Wuze, right? So you got a guy that was great at top. And then when he played, a lot of people don't know this, West Coast, that Jordan Lewis was in the running for Rookie of the Year. People didn't know that about Jordan Lewis. And see, and then this is what I noticed about Jordan Lewis. You throw Jordan Lewis in there and he's like that. He's never even developed. Yeah. It's almost like Dak, where you threw Dak out there and he balled. But we take that for granted. Yeah. They threw Jordan Lewis out there. He had no training camp as a rookie because of his hamstring.
Yeah.
When they threw him out there, they was like, go, we have nobody else.
That's true.
And he balled. That's to true. The point of being ranked 10th overall out of everybody drafted.
Yeah, that's good.
Not just corners, everybody. So you say, how do you facilitate that? You look at the data, you look at the research, you look at the film, and then I also looked at the last 2 games. I counted myself. Anthony Brown missed 6 tackles. Jordan Lewis made every one of his, and they was harder. Open field tackles, hard tackles, you know?
Yeah.
PFF themselves gave Jordan Lewis the highest grade out of every player in the league at the nickelback position. In the league. So it's like that time. It really is that time. And then Anthony Brown against the Redskins, the worst play to me, and I'm going to show it on film. Jordan Lewis made a play that Anthony Brown missed, because Anthony Brown missed the tackle in the open field, and Jordan Lewis came right behind him and cleaned it up, stopped the sure first down, right? It didn't stop there. It was now 4th down. The Redskins was trying to be aggressive. You know who they went right at? Anthony Brown. And you know what happened? Conversion. And I got the data that says it happens over and over and over again. It also happened against the Giants. People forgot. It was 4th down. Number 18, I forgot his name. I don't even know him. He was a no-name player. Ran a quick out on Anthony Brown. 4th down. Converted. Yeah, chains keep moving. So if people just even cause see what's happening, I believe, with Anthony Brown is our success is making us overlook kind of some of our liabilities. We getting so caught up in, Dak was perfect in passing rating, the return of Zeke and all of this. And, we high-fiving and chest bumping, but we not really stopping and saying, okay, but what can hurt us down the line?
Yeah.
And so if we really look at what can hurt us down the line, I would say what'll hurt us more than anything is not allowing Lewis to now get his fair share of developmental reps.
Very true.
Because if he get his fair share of developmental reps, and now we looking in January and February, and he got a full season of trial and error behind him, and he's already been great with no prep, now we, to me, ready for a Super Bowl contending nickelback when you have to line up against the New England Patriots, or you have to line up against maybe Mahomes, right? And you sitting there in the slot going against, what's the receiver, number 14 that we almost tried to draft?
Oh, from Kansas City?
Yeah, Kansas City. He balling right now.
They got Tariq Hill. They got Sammy Watkins.
Sammy. So imagine him lining up against Sammy. I want him already kind of in his veteran legs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So to facilitate that, then you just got to look at what's going on so far and just do it, in my opinion, Wesco.
Yeah, man. And you guys are doing some great comments. I appreciate the people in the comments right now. Let's see what else we got on here. Cowboys. Let's see. I see you guys on. All right. We got Nate Johnson. What's up with your name? Josh King. Oh my God, it's AT&T Stadium. I love the stadium. So big, Cowboys. Hey man, what's some other things we want to talk about before we get up out of here, man? Shout out some folks while we do this real quick. Pedro, how you doing, Pedro? I see you are a new subscriber. I appreciate you. Wendy, how you doing? I got a question. Actually, I mean, since we kind of talked about Miami for a little bit,
right.
We also gonna drop our own individual stuff that we're gonna talk about too. But this question, keeps brought up. They said now with, what happened with Antonio Brown, what are some teams, not necessarily scare me in the AFC right now, or what are some teams that I'm looking at in the AFC? And to be honest with you, like I said, I think I said on my IG video, the only team that scares me right now in the NFL is the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank
man.
you, bro.
Because right now, the only thing that could really see us like beating or just doing some dumb stuff is us, man.
Yes,
like
bro.
that's the only thing. Like, because there's not an NFC team in the NFL that I'm afraid to go see them at their mama house. Like, Seattle's probably the only team that I'd be like, we got to give them that gas. But guess what? We have a history of going there and playing big. So it's like, I'm okay with that. And you got to think like this: they're in the division with the Rams.
Right.
So it's like one of them isn't gonna be able to get the home record, even if both of them make the playoffs.
Right.
It's mathematically impossible.
Right.
So the chances are you'll either go to LA or Seattle. So you only got to do one. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the only environment. But Seattle at the house, no, I'm cool.
Yeah, and then you asked what team should we?
The Dallas Cowboys.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I did for New England with
AB. Yeah, hell yeah.
That was like, especially
because that lets me know that my secondary corners are gonna have to really play. Like, you're gonna have to really play.
And then I was looking at the fact that they keep throwing Anthony Brown out there, and I'm not gonna keep reading that horse. But that's the only team. But now that he's gone,
there's the Dallas Cowboys.
there's nobody to fear but
the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, it's really at this point we have a bunch of depth.
I mean, you have 5 starters out basically, and we're all like, yeah, we're cool.
Yeah, right. And even so it's like the odd year curse is not going to apply this year. Just straight up, the odd year curse that hit us in 17 with the suspension, right, and all those injuries that happened, week 9. I think we've learned from those curses, because when I wrote about it, I said we never really had a curse. We more so had an exposure to our personnel flaws.
Yep. And they weren't addressing them.
And they wasn't addressing it, so we fixed those things. So when we lost the 2017 league, and we saw how the defense just went to hell, we said LVE. We addressed that personnel flaw. When we saw Tyron Smith leave, and then Chaz Green and Bell as his replacement caused the offense to just become anemic, we addressed that with Chaz Green. So when I look at our depth, when I look at how we built, and I also look at the fact that we was a young team, but we're starting to become better.
Yeah.
And that's true. You really can
That's why when people be like, oh, we need to get a veteran quarterback, I'd be like, what?
No.
Your quarterback's been in the NFL
He's
4
a veteran
years.
now.
He is the veteran.
He's a veteran.
Like, if you go get someone more veteran than Dak, you're getting an old, washed-up dude.
Right.
And you're just hoping that he stay in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Dak and Zeke is very much a big boy now.
Yeah, Dak, they are the veterans.
Yeah, they veterans now. This is big, so it's like they are officially, truly big brothers in the league.
That's big Dak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you can see it in his body language, his demeanor, and you can see it in Zeke.
At this point, you want to actually start doing, because at some point, I learned this in management, at some point you want to start giving your elite salesmen someone that they can mentor, because when they mentor, they get better. Why? Because they're repeating the action over and over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you'd be amazed at what you can learn from teaching someone else.
Right.
So that's why it understood, that's why it made sense why the Dallas Cowboys went in and got a Tony Pollard, because they wanted someone Zeke could mentor, but someone that was worth being on the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they really need to be looking out for Dak Prescott. And that's why I didn't understand why they didn't even give a guy like Tyron Christensen an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Or go get that, I wouldn't even mind like I don't know about Paxton Lynch, but I wouldn't even mind, because he's not a veteran. But I'm just saying, if you want to get a quarterback, it's time for Dak to start teaching someone else. You know what I'm saying? Because think about this. In 4 years, if you can get a guy that Dak can help out, you can either play him or you can trade him. And I'm going to tell you right now, if we had a pretty decent backup quarterback, we probably could have got something.
Yeah.
Especially from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Especially from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Like, there are some teams that we could get something for. And think about this. They have a guy that we don't even know. You never heard of this dude.
Yeah.
You think they wouldn't have traded for a guy like a Cooper Rush or one of these guys? That's why me and Boss were so adamant about, like, yo, get Dak established and then play these damn rookies. Find out what we have in these guys. Because that would have been some New England stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That would have been that's a Bill Belichick. If y'all want to talk about some real Bill Belichick moves, that's a personnel decision that will net you some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Help you use your best player to teach other folks. And then guess what? The thing about Dak is, only thing that's going to do is create more leadership and more bond. That's it. And then guess what? If something does happen to Dak, you have a guy that feels like he's indebted to Dak to go out there and play. Right. And guess what? Since he has a star in his head, we all benefit. We all benefit.
Yeah, and I know I pretty much can see Dak definitely mentoring somebody.
He's perfect for it, bro. He's perfect for it.
And the way that Dak will more than likely do that is by example. And that's good enough as well,
And I don't want it to be a draft pick. The reason I want it to be a draft pick is when you draft a quarterback, there's a time scale. Why? Because you got that 4 year, you got the length of that contract. I would rather than bring in like the undrafted free agent, a guy we can just re-sign every year. Right. So you got to prove it every single year that you should be here.
Rush for right now.
But we not re-signing it.
I'm cool with him, man, for right now. And then he might play like tomorrow, right? I do want to see him in the game.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
I want to see him in the game because when he plays in the game, in our offense, especially if we see him with starters, and if he's able to move the ball, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Because if something was to happen to that, because it don't have to be a major
injury. That's the only thing that can derail our system, that can just totally just...
And sometimes it can be something like a concussion where you might not be out like a major injury, but it might be like a week or two.
Exactly.
I want to know, can you kind of hold it for us? And I want to know it.
Yeah.
And so if I see you driving with our offense, with Zeke, with Cooper, right? With our offensive line, and you're able to manage a drive.
Yeah.
Even though it's Miami, it's a little bit higher than preseason, I would say. Right?
And then I'm going to tell you something else. Dak also needs to know with these MVP talks, defenses are going to come out there and say, we're not going to let this guy beat us.
Yeah.
So Dak is going to, that's why I said, in these trash games, let's get it away so we can get him out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then my last point, I want to agree with you on that point is this. I want his numbers to kind of go down a little bit too. Because I don't want him chasing any individual stats. Because when you got MVP in your reach, sometimes the nature of us that want it all, because I'm the type that want it all, I'm pretty sure you are too. When you feel like I can get a Super Bowl, a lot of us gonna say, well, hell, I want a Super Bowl and MVP.
Exactly.
I want him just really concentrated on Super Bowl. So let Mahomes now with their pass first offense just begin to run away. I hope he go down to like a third tier in terms of in that race, like ranked third or fourth in that race.
Yeah.
That way we can say to hell with that. Let me focus on winning.
But at the same time, man, if you balling like an MVP, man, let me see what you can do with it, baby.
Yeah, so you saying basically while you hot, keep them hot.
Yeah, I'm saying while you hot, keep them hot. But at the same time, this is the type of game where Dak would be understandably okay with coming out. Yeah. You don't pull Dak out against a division opponent. Why? Because he has to play them every year for 2 years. I want the Philadelphia Eagles, I want the New York Giants to know that Dak is going to put 40, 50 points on you.
Yeah.
Like divisional opponents, you play every minute. Why? Because I want them to know that. I want them to have that in the back of their head. That kid's going to kill us.
Crush that neck.
Yeah, crush that neck. Miami Dolphins, we'll never see them again.
Right.
We'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Never. We'll never see the Dolphins again.
Yeah, preseason then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get it in hand, get him out of there. Yeah. And I'm even okay if we're up by 10. You know what I'm saying? Hooper Rush, can you be Manny Rivera and come in there and just keep the win and just, you know what I'm saying, get us out the game? But my thing is this, if we're stretching to win this game, that means we didn't follow the keys, and that means also our execution is bad. Because the only way we play bad against this team is if we did not watch the film and our execution is trash.
Right. And I think we're going to be locked in.
Yeah, and all you got to do is do one of the two. If we can get one of the two, we're going to beat this team.
Yeah.
One of the two. If you get both, you're going to get 50 points.
It's sweet because we did the same thing to the Browns in 2016. We went in there and we just executed. We came out there like we're better than you, and we was better than
them and just beat them.
And it's like on paper, on the demoralized team, I don't just see no boxer just showing up at them and where they say, we're going to, for our own team pride, beat the Cowboys.
Nah.
I think we're going to slap them up and down, brother. Like straight up. From kickoff all the way to the fourth.
Yep, and that's why I say, hey, and that's why I say run the ball with Zeke. You know why? Because then Dak ain't even got to throw the ball. Get Dak his 2 touchdowns and go sit down somewhere. I don't care. Just this is the type of defensive front that you could literally just hand the ball off on first, hand the ball off on second, by then you should have a first down. So then you can hand it off again. Like, this should be the Zeke and Tony Pollard show.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even, like, Dak is going to have lanes to run, but don't even do it. Yeah. I mean, if you have to, you have to, but I don't want any ridiculous stretching, because this is not a game where you should have to stretch. The Patriots did not have to stretch to beat this team.
Right.
Baltimore did not have to stretch to beat this team. If we want to be looked at as these top teams in the NFL, we have to play like these top teams.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, if we struggle against this team, you know,
it's not gonna happen.
Mental toughness.
Yeah, and that team, I think this team has it. It's together. It has good leadership. They know who they are, and they're growing up together. And the fact that, and they almost seem like they know they're on a mission.
Exactly. But
So
remember
it's
in
like,
high school when you got those teams that play to the level of the talent they playing, and then, you know what I'm saying? So
no, that happens. That definitely happens. Happened to me many times. My teams, great teams, you know. But at the same time, I think these guys locked in now. We did see a lot of drops out these receivers the last 2 weeks as well. So I want to see improvement in that area, because see, if your mom falls asleep in this game and you have drops that kill drives, yeah. And
also, before we wrap this thing up, I'm gonna tell you something else that's also gonna let you know something too. This is also gonna let you know how Jason Garrett is preparing these dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or is he getting you guys prepared? Because you're gonna have a game that really don't matter, and we walk into a game that matters the very next week.
Right.
So this is what your head coach gets paid for. Can you guys have these guys ready, pumping on all cylinders when they know they're gonna blow these guys out? Can you still bring this game down to size and make it still feel important? That's why you hear guys like, you know, not Antoine Woods, but my boy Cooper saying, well, you know, because he played at Alabama, so when he was in college, they blew a lot of teams out. But how do you consistently blow teams out? You don't look past them.
Right.
You give them their fair fade. Let's give the Miami Dolphins their fair fade. And you know what that is? It's 40 points, bro.
Yeah.
Like, let's give them their fair fade. Hey, Boss Cowboy, man, what's your final thoughts? Let them know where they can find you at.
Well, my final thoughts is I think we're getting ready to blow this team out. I think this is going to be the emergence of great defense. I think this is going to be the birth of what we've been wanting to see. The offense is going to manage it and go get it done, but I have a feeling that it's going to all be pretty much pioneered by this defense. I'm expecting about 3 turnovers. For real. It's in my gut. I think they playing a new quarterback. He's getting ready to get some dogs thrown at him. I think that pass rush going to be coming at him. That's a lot of rookiness for our defense. And I just think that we've been so close. You know how it is. Like, I always kind of look at it like this, because when I play golf and I hit my ball and it go to the right side of the fairway, I'll say, ooh, just one adjustment.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about our defense. Woods dropped that interception. The ball hit
Byron Jones.
Heath in the head.
Oh my God, we never even showed that play.
They really stripped it from Eli. They got that strip. Like, so we already should have 3 turnovers going into this game that we just took the ball away. And I see them concentrating on it.
Yeah.
I see them trying. And when they that close, and you saw Woods just right there when he had a pick 6, he had a pick 6.
Yeah.
They was right there. So you can't keep getting right there and then that ball don't eventually hit the fairway.
Absolutely.
So I'm expecting the defense to kind of be the surprise of this game.
Hey, man, what I'm expecting for this game is this. I'm expecting for Ezekiel Elliott to absolutely run rampant, man. I'm expecting 150, 160. That's what I'm expecting, man. I'm expecting, because, man, it's going to be there. If the Dallas Cowboys allow Zeke to just run and you're running at home, this is really the first time we really get to see Zeke. Because the first game in the Giants, he really wasn't Zeke. He only been in the game 3 days. Yeah. So this is really, this is going to be like our give back game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want this to be the game that we come into this game, and then like the same thing I said at the beginning of the show, man. Dak Prescott is walking around right now with his NUTs out. You know what I'm saying? Hanging. You know what I'm saying? The man around campus. I need Zeke to feel the same way, because those two together, it's 2-1-4, baby. It's 2-1-4. Yeah. I'm going to tell you guys like this. Dak Prescott playing elite by himself, he can be beat. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott playing like 2016, the only thing that can beat that team is a phantom call and end around. That's it. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this thing popping, man.
Oh yeah, let's go. So yeah, you can definitely find me at Boss Cowboy Sports. I got a special surprise coming out tomorrow, so be looking for it.
Well, yeah.
Huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a special surprise coming out tomorrow. It's something that's unique coming from me that you hardly ever see come from me. And it's gonna be my first time doing it on the Boss Cowboy page. So be on the lookout.
Hey, well, you guys already know what it is, man. It is your boy West Coast, man. We are live right here at AT&T Stadium, man. Right there, man. Right there. Hey, remember, if you want to get into that stadium right there, man, if you need help getting into that stadium right now, you need to inbox your boy West Coast, man. Cowboys packages. I appreciate you guys for having us out here this weekend, man. I'm having a great time, man. Got us right here doing a great show, man. Make sure you guys hit those guys up. CowboysPackages.com, man. You guys already know what it is, man. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.